So, since I told people on the forum that they should find out what their draw time was to hit a 6-inch target at 3 yards, I figured I should probably do the same. It occurred to me that I actually hadn't checked that in quite some time. From an open holster in a competition rig, I knew what my time was for that. And while I've been practicing from concealment for quite some time, it's been a while since I've actually checked that part on a timer. So, here we are. Got a target 3 yards off. I'm using a small paper plate for this sort of thing. On any given day in the summer, this is what I look like. Polo shirt, shorts, sandals, that sort of thing. I'm using my normal carry gun. I'm actually using my self-defense ammo because it's been a while since I've rotated it out. So I'm going to go ahead and use my regular ammo for this, and we'll see what happens. In this particular case, what I'm going to do is, on the beep, I'm going to draw and fire 4 shots, hopefully all on the paper, specifically all on the plate. That's what we're going to hope for. And we'll take a look at what the times are for that sort of thing. Again, this is completely cold. I just showed up to the range. I just set up. I haven't shot. I haven't even practiced draws from concealment here. Matter of fact, I haven't practiced them today at all. So this is about as cold as I can get in terms of seeing what we do under at least a little bit of stress. Okay, so total time 2 seconds. Draw to first shot 1.32. Split was 2.5, 2.2, and 2.1. So my times were 1.32, 1.57, 1.79, and 2 seconds exactly. You can see there, all the hits are solidly on. So we've got our 4 hits. So about 1.3 from concealment for that particular case. 4 shots in 2 seconds. Now that I've done that, let's do it a couple more times just to make sure, one, that wasn't a fluke, either with regards to too fast and I got lucky, or too slow and I should have gone faster. If it's too fast and I got lucky, we'll see that immediately and I'll learn to aim and practice some more. If it's too slow, what that means is when I run at it cold, apparently I'm being careful. And being careful is not a bad thing unless, of course, it gets you killed because you're not going fast enough. So again, that'll tell me something that I need to practice. So let's run it a couple more times, see what happens. That one is not going to be better because I fumbled the draw. First shot 1.36, split 0.2, 0.24, 0.23, and my total time was 2.03. So it actually was pretty similar, even though I really felt like I fumbled my draw in there, and you can probably see it in terms of the wobble. When we show the picture from the GoPro there, you'll probably see me fumbling with it a little bit, which means my actual time probably should be faster if I don't screw it up. Again, times were 1.36, 1.56, 1.80, and the last shot was at 2.03. Do that one more time. Well, that one felt all good and faster, except my first shot I yanked it down. Pulled it down here. All of the 3 shots were here, but as I brought it up on the draw, I just yanked the trigger, pulled it down here. Now, if this was a competition, that'd be fine, but it's not. It's off the 6-inch plate. So that first shot, was 1.31, about the same time as the other ones, demonstrated for trigger control. The follow-up shots were faster, 0.25, 0.20, and 0.21, so my total time was 1.97. In other words, what we're seeing in all 3 of these, my times are about the same throughout. My first shot's about 1.3 something, 3.5. My final shot's around 2 seconds with a 4-shot burst. And this one on that last one, so apparently I do still need to work on my trigger control. Purely for the sake of interest, let's do some draw to just 1 shot. Traditionally what happens is when people are drawing just a one shot, they can push more and they can accept a little worse grip and so on as long as that first hit is there, because they don't have to control recoil and therefore they're not worrying about what comes after. Plus they're not concentrating on what has to happen next. So when you practice this sort of thing, just practicing draw to one shot may make you feel good, but when you actually start swinging it to four, it may be talking about two different things. So let's try that. Some draw to one shot, record some times. After that, I'll do a draw to four shots one last time just to see if just this little bit of practice was enough to make a difference to my shooting. So, some draw to one shot. Time, 1.15. Sorry, I heard this beep, but at the same time my GoPro was talking back to me and I couldn't tell which one it was supposed to be. Let's try that one again. .18. .38, and that one should be interesting on the other camera because I really fumbled getting the grip on the gun in the first place. The interesting thing about that one is I actually missed the grip on my shirt. I managed to lift it enough to get my hand on the gun and still could get the shot, but when we watch it on the other camera, we'll see that I actually start missing it. So I'm trying to rush with normal consequences of rushing. Most of the time it's working, but when you screw up big. In this particular case, it worked out and I got a 1.16. Let's do one last one. That's because I'm waiting for the timer, so I'm shaking my hand. Looks a little ridiculous. Let's do that again for real. Well, that one felt all sorts of great. Too bad I pulled it completely out. It was fast at 106. That's what happens when you chase speed at the expense of, everything else. Okay? So now that I've actually done some bad practice, let's see if I can dial it back and actually do it right. Another draw with 4 shots. Those last couple I was using practice ammo. Let's switch back to my regular self-defense ammo. Okay, so draw 4 shots. A little better actually, and I did it right, which you'll be able to see from the other camera. The grip was good, getting the shirt out of the way was good, getting it straight to the target was good. Draw was 1.17, split was 0.24, 0.23, 0.21 for a total time of 185. So in other words, the times were 1.17, 1.41, 1.64, 1.85. So, after practice, I can get it down under 2 seconds. Doing it cold or doing it a couple times, including fumbles, for me, it seems to be my draw time is about 1.35-ish, and I can get 4 shots off from concealment from a tone in 2 seconds. That doesn't mean in the self-defense situation when someone is trying to kill me, I'm going to get all that done in 2 seconds. But this gives me an idea of where I am. For example, if my draw was 5 seconds and it took me another 3 seconds to get shots off, that would tell me something. Where I am right now, it probably means that in my case, 1, I need to practice my draws so I quit fumbling them. And 2, I should start practicing other things like moving while I'm shooting and so on. This is decent. I can live with this. It occurs to me that just to make sure people know that I wasn't faking it about the hits or not, those are all the shots I just put on there, and you can see pretty solidly I yanked down 2, okay, and the rest are in there. I do have a tendency to pull a little right when I'm drawing from appendix. It has to do with the way the gun is angled to the right in the first place on my draw. When I do this out of a regular competition holster, I don't have that tendency, which is something I obviously need to work on. But anyway, there's those 2 yank shots. All the rest are on the small circle.